Welcome back to Auto VIP, the place where we break down the newest cars, trucks, and everything in between, giving you all the details that matter before you make a buying decision. If you love cars as much as we do, make sure to stick around till the end and subscribe for more deep dives into the latest models hitting the roads. Today, we're taking a closer look at the 2026 Ford Ranger, its design, performance, features, and of course, the pricing you'll want to know before considering one for yourself. The Ford Ranger has always been one of those mid-size trucks that manages to strike a balance between utility and everyday usability. It's big enough to tow, haul, and handle off-road adventures, but small enough to still feel manageable around town. With the 2026 model year, Ford is sticking to that winning recipe while offering some new flavors in select markets. What makes this model year especially interesting is the introduction of a heavy-duty Super Duty version in Australia, a truck that takes the Ranger to a whole new level of toughness. So let's begin with what we know about the standard Ranger. If you're in North America, the 2026 Ranger doesn't bring radical changes compared to the models from 2024 and 2025. Ford has kept the same underlying design, and that's not a bad thing, because the current Ranger already feels modern. Under the hood, you'll still find the 2.3-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, producing around 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. For those who need more muscle, there's the 2.7-litre twin-turbo V6 option, delivering about 315 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Both engines are paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission that makes gear changes smooth and keeps the truck efficient on longer drives. Towing capacity for the standard Ranger sits at about 7,500 pounds when properly equipped, which puts it right in line with what buyers expect from a mid-sized truck. Payload figures are strong as well, meaning this Ranger can handle weekend projects, boats, or campers without breaking a sweat. Inside, Ford continues to impress with tech. The Ranger offers either a 10-inch touchscreen or an optional 12-inch vertical display depending on trim. You get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, over-the-air software updates, available digital gauge clusters, and wireless charging. Safety tech includes features like adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking. So while the body hasn't drastically changed, the tech package keeps the Ranger feeling fresh and competitive against rivals like the Toyota Tacoma and Chevrolet Colorado. But let's talk price, because that's always a deciding factor. Ford hasn't officially revealed US pricing for the 2026 model yet. However, looking at current 2025 pricing, most Rangers range between about $36,000 and $41,000 depending on trims and options. So it's safe to expect the 2026 versions to fall within a similar window unless Ford surprises us with a major price shift. Now, the real headline for 2026 is the Ranger Super Duty, which was revealed in Australia. This isn't your average Ranger. It's built for those who demand serious towing and hauling power. Gross vehicle mass is rated at 4,500 kilograms, and maximum brake towing capacity also matches that number. Gross combined mass comes in at 8,000 kilograms. That's not just good, that's outstanding for a truck in this size category. How did Ford make it possible? They beefed up the chassis, installed heavy-duty suspension components, fitted 8 lug wheels, and added features like a factory snorkel, onboard scales to measure payload, and even a smart hitch system that helps balance trailers. The truck is powered by a 3.0-litre turbo diesel V6, which has proven itself in durability and torque delivery, making it ideal for the kind of heavy work the Super Duty is designed for. This model also comes with a massive 130-liter fuel tank, which gives it incredible range, especially useful in rural areas or job sites far away from the nearest pump. Ford has clearly built the Ranger Super Duty with commercial use and demanding conditions in mind. So what about the cost? Ford has officially announced Australian pricing, and it starts at $82,990 Australian dollars for the single cab chassis version. Step up to the super cab and it's $86,490 Australian dollars, while the double cab version costs $89,990 Australian dollars before adding a tray or on-road costs. Trays themselves add between about $6,000 and $9,000 Australian dollars depending on finish and size. When you translate that to US currency, you're looking at a starting point of around $54,000. Fully equipped versions can easily push well past $90,000 Australian dollars, which is around $58,000 to $60,000 US dollars depending on exchange rates. That's a big price jump compared to the standard Ranger, but then again, this is a completely different animal. The Ranger Super Duty is meant for people who need a truck that can legitimately replace a larger vehicle while still offering midsize maneuverability. Fleet buyers, mining companies, and contractors are the target audience. Everyday consumers could certainly buy one, but it's not built for commuting and grocery runs. An important note for viewers in North America: Ford has no plans to bring the Ranger Super Duty here. It's being built in Thailand and offered in Australia and potentially other similar markets. So if you're in the United States, Canada, or Mexico, don't expect to see this version on dealership lots. Instead, the Ranger lineup will continue with its familiar trims, and of course, the performance-focused Ranger Raptor will remain the halo model. Speaking of the Raptor, while not technically new for 2026, it's worth mentioning because it continues to be one of the most exciting versions of the Ranger. With its twin-turbo V6 tuned for more power, long travel suspension, and aggressive design, it's the Ranger for enthusiasts who want a capable off-road toy that still doubles as a daily driver. Prices for the Raptor hover around the mid-50s in the US, which interestingly overlaps with the Australian pricing of the Ranger Super Duty, though their purposes couldn't be more different. One more interesting development: in Europe, Ford has announced that the smaller 2.0-liter diesel engines are being phased out in favor of a plug-in hybrid option. This new hybrid Ranger uses a 2.3-liter turbocharged petrol engine paired with electric motors, giving it about 27 miles of pure electric range. It can still tow up to 3,500 kilograms and carry a payload of 1 ton. In Europe, the hybrid will cost around £2,500 more than the outgoing diesel version. While that's not directly tied to the US or Australian markets just yet, it shows Ford's direction toward electrification, and we may see similar powertrains arrive globally in the future. To summarize, the 2026 Ford Ranger is a tale of two directions. In North America, the truck remains consistent, keeping the proven engines and technology that customers already love. Pricing is expected to stay in the mid-$30,000 to low $40,000 range depending on trim. Meanwhile, in Australia, the Ranger Super Duty is rewriting the book on what a mid-size truck can do, offering heavy-duty towing and payload capabilities that rival larger pickups, but with a price tag to match, starting at $82,990 Australian dollars and climbing from there. So now it's over to you. Would you consider paying over $80,000 Australian dollars, or the equivalent of around $54,000 US dollars, for a mid-size truck with this level of power and capability? Do you think Ford should bring the Super Duty Ranger to North America, or is the standard Ranger enough for our market? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That wraps up our look at the 2026 Ford Ranger and its pricing. Make sure to hit that like button if you found this breakdown helpful. subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. This is Auto VIP, and I'll see you in the next one.